Alrighty, so I have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. The first thing I'm going to say is that I shall be doing commissions this summer. Um, I got the go-ahead for that, and if you want a commission for sure, just message me about about whatever you want, and also just mention any particulars like paint jobs or design changes, stuff like that. That's on the Nerf commissions side. If you want, like, knife made, I can make knives, I suppose. I can also make some chainmail. Don't ask me for a shirt, though, because I don't have time. I'm already making one. I'll be able to make you, like, necklaces, bracelets, maybe larger things. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I can do if you just ask me. So, um, if you want a knife or something, I can make it out of steel or aluminum. Um, I can't really make very good swords at this point. I'm working on trying to better my sword smithing skills, but I just don't have a lot of resources at the moment. But I can do fairly decent steel and aluminum knives. Um, if you want a decorative sword, I can do that. Um, I can make those out of steel or aluminum as well. um, as for the sword that I'm working on, the one that I mentioned a couple videos back, a couple people have asked me about that, and I got some work done on that in the last break, and I won't actually be able to finish it until the summer. Um, I'll actually be going home next weekend, so I'll get some video and I'll make a video about that sword because I have it back at home. I don't have it here. Yes. Another thing I've been working on, which is not Nerf or sword related, but is pretty cool anyway, is if any of you have ever heard of the band Opeth, they're a pretty damn cool band. I like them a lot. They're a Swedish progressive metal band. Um, their lead vocalist is Michael Ackerfeldt, who's just a god, pretty much. not not really God, but you know what I mean. And you might have seen their logo if you know about them. It's a really fancy decorated O. And basically I've set to work cutting one out of copper, and this is how far I've gotten so far. I've got pretty much all the insides done. The only reason I haven't gotten it finished yet is because I ran out of saw blades. They keep breaking because jewelry saws, these things, have very tiny blades, which they need to get the precision that you need, but um, as a result of being tiny, they break a lot. So I'm working hard on that, and whenever I get enough money for more blades, I'll buy them. Also, on a more Nerf-related thing, I've been having some issues with my snap pistol recently because I didn't do a very good job on the trigger. Essentially, all I did was epoxy putty this on, which is the original Maverick trigger, but I didn't screw it in or anything, so it broke off of this once, and I've tried 2 or 3 times to epoxy it back on, but it's just not staying. So I think I might have to actually wrench off the handle and screw it into the screw it onto the clothespin and epoxy it, and then stick the handle back on, and it's just a pain in the ass. But that's a lesson learned, I suppose, something I won't do again. I also took one of my CD players, which I like a lot. This one was yellow, you can still see some of the yellow poking through, and painted it the same color, because I had some extra paint lying around, so I just decided to give it that green metallic paint job. So, I actually have 2 of these CD players. I don't like iPods or Apple products or generally MP3 players, so I just use CD players because I like those more. And some of you have been asking about the Longshot that I've been doing. This one. I've had the internals out for a little while, so I figure I might as well show them to you. Here's the bolt sled. I've gotten some aluminum. It's this stuff. I just had some lying around. Actually, no, not him. Nam gave this to me. Just gave it to me at Namne because he didn't want it anymore, apparently. And so I've been using that to reinforce my bolt sleds, and it's really nice stuff. I've Gorilla Glued this on, and it's been holding pretty damn well. And then here's the actual bolt. Oh, that was just something else. Okay, so here's the actual breech and plunger tube. Here's the clear CPVC. I'm not exactly sure what this stain is. I think it's probably some grease that I've been spraying on it. And then this I've screwed in and just epoxy puttied and gooped on, and that's just on there really strongly. And then on the inside, this is probably going to look kind of strange to a lot of people because I've had to reinforce it a ton, but here is the plunger itself, and it's got a stock spring with a K25, or like a half a K25 in there as well. And let me just unscrew this real quick. I essentially had to do a lot of reinforcement because this thing kept popping off. It just broke off. So I had to epoxy putty it back on there, and that broke off. And then I actually epoxy puttied it into this brass tube, which I think is 5/8, and then stuck that over this and epoxied it on there, and that's been holding pretty well so far. So, I mean, the spring combination that I put in here is really powerful, so I guess it's to be expected that pieces will collapse and break and fail and things like that, so I just gotta keep making them stronger and stronger until they don't break anymore. But, let me see. There we go. We'll just screw this back on. And I decided recently to do some renovations on my pump snap that I made a while ago. I think it was winter break, actually. That would be a little more than 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, like 5 or 6. But I decided, since it basically had a terrible, terrible seal, I replaced the plunger. I replaced the rubber washers on the plunger head, and I actually removed the front bushing entirely and just re-gooped that entire thing. And now I've actually got epoxy putty stuck in here rather than screws. I'm going to see how that works for sealing it up. And then I'm going to put some more goop around here just as an extra measure because it still doesn't seem to be sealed properly, as you can see. But I actually added some extra spacers in here, which give it pretty much full compression, even though I've only got 6.5 inches of draw. But if you watch, you can see the rod in there. You can see it's not quite sealed right. And I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but you can kind of hear the hissing, or at least I can. But it's still got a ton of power, even though it's not fully sealed. But I like it a lot. And obviously, if you commission me to make a pump snap, it will be vastly improved from that. It will have between 6.5 and 7 inches of compression, and it'll be full compression. And hopefully, I'll be able to actually make the seal better than that. I imagine I would at this point. I've gotten much better at sealing things. Working within the parameters of what I've already got, though, is a bit more difficult than creating something entirely new. But this thing has a great seal when I can actually fire it because the damn trigger is broken. Let's see. I'll figure out how I can actually do this. Never mind. But I think that's pretty much all I can think of to inform you guys of at the moment, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys want some commissions, because I'd love to do some commissions. Anyway, have a great day, and take care, and all that good stuff.